Well, it's a race against time as a third wave is threatening to sweep across the country. In President Ramaphosa's address on Sunday, he promised a faster COVID-19 vaccine rollout plan from this week as more vaccines become available. But with the third wave entering various provinces already, what does this mean on the ground? Well, finding out this afternoon is Heidi Giokos, our reporter. She's joining us live now from a vaccination site in Tembisa. Heidi, good afternoon. What's happening there in Tembisa where you are? We can see there's a queue behind you of the elderly seated while waiting for the jab.
Yes, most certainly, Bradan. We have seen a large number of people here in Tembisa at this clinic queuing up to get their vaccine. But we were also told earlier on by the site manager that the reason why it looks rather busy here this afternoon is because earlier today it was quite cold and the elderly opted rather to come a little later on when they were hoping that the sun comes out so that they do not stand in the cold. But we do know that here in Ekurhuleni, over 40,000 people have been vaccinated just from phase 2, and we do know that they try and vaccinate about 300 people just at this clinic here in Tembisa. We do know that there are a number of other vaccination sites here in this district, but they do try and make sure that they vaccinate about 80 people every 2 hours. So they're trying to pick up speed. Of course, they do indicate that there are certain challenges on the ground. For example, people that have not perhaps registered or people that have not received an SMS of an appointment to attend this specific vaccination site to get their vaccine. So they need to go through all those admin processes before they're actually able to vaccinate. So they say the delay actually comes from the admin rather than the vaccinators and being able to administer the vaccine as quickly as possible. So it seems as though it's all systems go here, with many elderly saying they're happy, they're excited to get the vaccine, and they will be back in about 40 days to get their second dose of the Pfizer vaccine.
Yeah, and contrary to what you might have heard, Heidi, earlier from one man called Tulasizo Simelane, I got my jab this morning, but there's no lollipop on my arm. It was all went smooth and stuff. There's a lot of admin work. I think you're quite right. That's the experience. You have to fill in the forms. It is a process, and I think it is very, very well managed. And the supply for vaccines, because the president was saying there'll be more vaccines available, do you get a sense that a center like that one in Tembisa has got enough supply?
Yes, and I think that's such a key question and something that we, of course, are trying to ascertain. And we've reached out to the National Department of Health to get a sense of how vaccine distribution is allocated, how the various vaccination sites get allocated, how many vaccines they get allocated. So we do understand that it's very much dependent on how many people have actually registered and based on appointments at a specific vaccination site. So the vaccination site will say we have about 300 people that are scheduled to receive their vaccine here due to the appointment and scheduling of the electronic vaccination data system, and they'll most likely get an additional 100 or 50 vaccines for those walk-ins or those that were unable to register and need additional assistance. So the National Department needs to come out and give an indication of how vaccines are distributed, specifically in provinces where we are experiencing a third wave. For example, here in Gauteng, the Northwest, Northern Cape and the Free State, where the President said specifically in those provinces there needs to be a much quicker and faster rollout of the vaccine. So we're not getting a sense from this particular vaccination site that there's a shortage of vaccines, but I have seen on social media where a number of vaccination sites saying we've run out, or people in old age homes saying we actually didn't get our vaccines because there was not enough stock.
Yeah, I think you make a valid point. They're going to have to check out what's happening in the Northern Cape, the Free State, where there are, in Gauteng here, of course, where there's a third wave. Thank you very much, Heidi Giokos, at a COVID-19 vaccination site in Tembisa here in Gauteng.